Hey guys, happy Monday. I am excited to continue our personal financial literacy unit. I hope that you enjoyed last week's research using the website to kind of find out different information about locations where you can live. I thought that was kind of a neat assignment. And this week we're going to be looking at comparing salaries. I'm going to do a little notes page. You don't really need to write anything down, just kind of watch this video, and then you're going to have a homework assignment that's on the Google slide. I have put text boxes. You'll notice it looks exactly like our normal homework worksheets. You don't need to print anything out. I've put text boxes so that you can just click and type in your answer. It should be a pretty easy assignment today. And then Wednesday, you're going to have another assignment where you're going to a website and finding out some information about some different careers that you might be interested in, about their salaries and stuff like that. So today's lesson is about different levels of education and kind of how salary is related to that. All right, so here's our Comparing Salaries notes page. Again, you don't really need to write anything down, just kind of follow along as we talk about each level of education. So the amount of schooling or education that you attend can impact the salary that you have and the potential of money that you can earn. So there are different levels of education. This would just be high school education. It's a 4-year secondary school awarded with a high school diploma. So that's just like a high school education. Then there are there are schools in which you learn trade or a skill. Those are called vocational schools. Those are like electricians, plumbers, even like some of your art stuff, or like a car mechanic is the example they give. It's like a trade school. It's where you go and you learn some kind of trade, or like welding. Those are all like skills. So you go to a specific school for those. A 2-year post-secondary school in which you can earn credit for the first 2 years of a 4-year university. That's called an associate's degree. So that's like a community college where you go and just get like your basic college classes taken care of. It's usually cheaper than going to a 4-year institution. And you can get what's called an associate's degree, and then even some jobs only require an associate's degree. The next one is a bachelor's degree. That's when you go to a university for 4 years. You get to focus on a certain major that you want to be interested in. So for example, when I went to school to become a teacher, I got a bachelor's degree in education. And so that's where you can kind of be more specific. You take classes that are focused towards what you're interested in. And then the higher level degrees, sometimes those are called master's degrees. Sometimes they're also just called like, I can't even think of the other word for it. I'm going to put master's, or sometimes they're called like you go to school to get your doctorate. Just kind of depends on what you're trying to do, but it's like they're specific for your occupation. So like if you want to be a dentist or a doctor or an architect, you go to schooling beyond the 4 years. It usually takes another like 2 years usually. Sometimes longer than that. Doctors take longer than that. But that's a level of degree that is beyond the bachelor's degree. So it's like you get your bachelor's and then you go further for more education on your specific desired career. So based on that, down here, we can compare salaries. And so this example here says Bethany's interested in the healthcare field. She's considering various options of education associated with nursing. So she figured out that you could be a nursing assistant, and that's just a vocational school. So that's just like going for maybe a year or 2 years and learn how to be specifically a nurse assistant. And this is the salary associated with that. Or she could go get her associate's degree and be an LVN. That's a specific type of nurse. So she could just go to 2 years of school and then get an associate's degree. Or a bachelor's degree, she could be a specific RN, and that's like your nurses that you usually see RNs at the hospital or at a doctor's office. They're usually RNs. Sometimes you have an LVN, and sometimes you have a nurse practitioner. Nurse practitioner is even another step forward. So these are all different levels within the nursing field, and they each have different requirements. So if she wanted to be an RN, she'd have to get her bachelor's degree, but the pay goes up steadily, depending on the level of education as well. So the more specific learning that you do, usually the salary gets better as well. So how much more money will Bethany earn each year with a bachelor's degree instead of an associate's degree? Well, a bachelor's degree is going to get her $68,450. And an LVN, for an associate's degree, she's only going to make $44,090. So if I want to know how much more, then I'm going to subtract that. So $24,360 more if she chooses to go ahead and do the 4 years of education versus the 2 years of education. How much more will Bethany earn over a 10-year period if she decides to be a nurse practitioner instead of an RN? Well, a nurse practitioner is going to make $107,460. And these are just estimates. They probably found, across the country, they probably kind of averaged them out, how much they make. So if we're doing a 10-year period, then I would times that by 10. So all I have to do is add a 0 on it. That's $1,074,600 in 10 years, versus if she was an RN, so just a bachelor's degree, times 10. So I'm just going to put a 0 on it. So 684,500. Okay, and I want to know how much more she's going to make. So subtracting those. That's $390,100 more over the course of 10 years. It's a big amount. About $39,000 a year, so that makes a big difference. And then what conclusions can you draw about the relationship between education and the salary in the nursing field? And so I kind of already said this. As the education goes up, the more training and the more education, the more specified their education is, the higher their salary. So it's increasing. So even though it's going to take longer to get these degrees, usually in the long run it's worth it if you know that's what you're interested in. So there's our notes for the day. So now I'd like for you to go back to the Google slide, and you're going to see the homework sheet, and you'll be able to fill in your answers there. I look forward to talking to you guys soon. We will have a Google Hangout for each one of your classes, and I hope that you'll join us. We had a good time last week, so I'm looking forward to seeing y'all, and I hope you're doing well. Miss you guys.